What is up, guys? I made the switch. I recently had some of my tools stolen, so right now I am switching over to the Dewalt Planer. I also picked up some of the Power Stack batteries. I've heard these are awesome. First look at these 5 amp hour Power Stacks. They got some nice rubber overmolding. Only 3 cells to show you on the charge, which is kind of a bummer. I like the 4 indicator lights, but I have some buddies, the Paulson, I think they go by Remodel Twins. They're on TikTok, but they swear by these batteries. And obviously, if a company makes a tool that is better, I will buy it. I'm not partial to brands. And right off the bat, this planer feels a lot better than my old Milwaukee. It's got similar blades, which is nice because they are stocked at Home Depot typically. Like it's grooved for a bigger pair of planer blades. It's got a nice stop, on blade or on tool storage for your star drive, which is always a good feature. Alex bought a rigid planer, brushless, and it had a lot of bells and whistles, nice features, very fancy. Probably even better than this, honestly. You can run both styles of planer blades. Okay, so I just figured out what this feature was for, and it's really slick. It's you can keep 2 spare blades in your tool, and anybody that's ran a planer knows how frustrating it is when you clip a nail or screw, didn't see something, and damage your blade and just don't happen to have them on hand. So if you're buying a planer, I would recommend buying like 5 packs of blades, keeping them on you, because there's nothing more frustrating than you know, dealing with that. Only difference, main difference I see right now for my Milwaukee and Alex's rigid that kind of is a big glaring design flaw is this is only one directional. You know, your chips are coming out on the right side, which isn't a deal breaker for me. All in all, I would buy the Dewalt over the Milwaukee just because it's brushless. Those few passes, I will tell you this is much smoother than the Milwaukee. No vibration felt in the tool itself. My Milwaukee, it would bog down considerably, and there was a ton of vibration in the tool, like you really felt like you were overworking it. So I am very impressed so far with this. We'll see how it holds up. Feature, I think the coolest feature I think of the Dewalt Planer is the fact that you can store an extra set of blades, of these smaller blades, on the tool. Because more often than not, I have had it where you are being careful and you end up clipping a nail or a screw or a knot right here on this side. This little tab pops out and you can drop 2 in, and that way, as long as you make sure and keep that baby loaded, when you're out on the job site, it happens, you nick something, you know you got all the tools, or all the tools needed to repair it on site, because I've had it happen more than one occasion with my old Milwaukee where I clipped something, didn't end up having a pair of blades on hand. So if you're buying a planer, I would recommend buying multiple blades and storing them in your toolboxes, having them on hand, because it was inevitable, which you don't use a planer very much, so it was very frustrating to get it out and not have it, not have blades when you need them. And you can see, are they gonna fit? I don't know. They in fact do. I was a little bit worried. They stick out proud, just slightly, but the cap is recessed. So to me, that is a very thoughtful, good feature. So good job, Dewalt, there. I've never seen that offered on any other setup. And again, the only other planer I would compare to this is the Rigid. The Rigid is just as good, if not better. I would say the Rigid fit and finish is probably higher end than this Dewalt, but I would say Dewalt's probably a higher quality tool than Rigid, in my opinion, or as far as the reputation. But I just too often, but when you're building a deck, especially if you want your deck dead flat, even if you sort your own lumber, take time to grade it, whatever your method is, you're still going to have a slight crown in some areas of your deck. So for me, what I like to do is take my planer, find the high spots, take them down, and then just know if you do use a planer on your deck, you really should be using joist tape. Anytime you cut the wood, especially on a surface that is going to be, exposed to the elements, you really want to make sure either to hit it with like a copper treatment after the fact, or use the butyl joist tape, which is a really good product. So anyways, that finishes up this review of the Dewalt Planer. So thanks for watching, and keep hammering.